Hi, thank you for joining me again today. So this is Nayalla and I'm going to be sharing with you an EFT tapping round, and this is for in that place where you want to change your life but you're really stuck in the old story. Now I've been aware of this actually coming forward a lot in the collective right now, where many are going through big changes, huge shifts in their own life, and really in a place of understanding that that old story is really sucking them in. It's doing them no good anymore, and they really want to be moving forward. So it's time to rewrite your story. It's time to write yourself an empowering story rather than being stuck in the disempowering story. So this is a great EFT tapping round to do if you're in that place, to really open yourself up to rewriting your story, but also to be more aware of where that old story is really creeping in. So we build stories around events and outcomes. Usually these stories will then lead to deep ingrained beliefs about either ourselves, our life, the world, or even our future. We form stories that make identities, and these stories are really based around who we are and the type of life we live and our experiences as well. So the story really starts dictating our choices, and the stories really start dictating how we live our day-to-day life, how we see ourselves, and how we see the world as well. So our stories, unfortunately, are often very disempowering, and they really keep us stuck. And herein lies the issue. Really, it's not that we are telling ourselves stories; it's what stories are we telling ourselves. So if they don't support good health, our growth, or expansion, and there may be stories that are not even supporting our goals or dreams either, then they're just keeping us stuck, they're just keeping us small, and they're preventing us from really living to our truest and highest potential. So we need to remember the stories we tell ourselves, they're just that, they're just stories. They're just stories we tell ourselves. So we can change our story at any time. We can learn to get out of our own way, and we can learn through experience that some of our stories, they've blocked us, they've hindered us, they've stopped us, they've prevented us, they may have even formed health issues, and we then can take our power back. We can remember that we do have power and that we can rewrite our story and use it to propel us into a whole new height, a whole new way of living, and a whole new way of being. And that really starts building this huge momentum, this huge sort of snowball effect that really gets things moving, and our whole life starts moving again. There's a real shift in energy, which then makes a huge shift in our physical world as well, and our health too. So the past does not equal the future. New beliefs form new outcomes and new experiences, even new experiences within the same old everyday patterns that we tend to fall into. So new beliefs form new stories, and new stories form new ways of being. So if you would like to join in with this EFT tapping round that I am about to share, then as always, it's really important to make sure that we are fully hydrated. So if you haven't had a drink yet, or you don't have any water at hand, please pause this video, go and get yourself a nice glass of water, and then we can continue. So I'm just going to take a sip of water myself. So starting on the karate chop point, and if you're not familiar with EFT tapping, then just copy what I do and repeat after me what I say. And if at any point anything I do say does not resonate with you, or you don't want to use it, then that's absolutely fine. Either leave it out or replace it with words of your own. The beauty of EFT tapping is it's very forgiving. You cannot get it wrong, so please do not stress or worry. You can mold it and it's pliable, so it's okay. It's okay if you don't want to repeat what I say, or if you want to leave something out. It's not going to affect the outcome of this. It still will shift things. It will still work for you, so don't worry about that. So taking full responsibility for ourselves and for our well-being. Even though I've been telling myself all these stories, and even though a lot of these stories have been keeping me stuck, I still choose today to deeply and completely love and accept myself, and maybe even be open to forgiving myself and maybe anybody else who has played a part in helping me to form these disempowering stories. All these stories, all these stories I've been telling myself, I choose today to look into these stories, to take back my power and rewrite my story. All these things, all these things I've been telling myself that have just been keeping me stuck and that have just been keeping me small and that have affected my health and that have affected my life and that have stopped me from living my best life yet. I choose to change my story. I am not my story. I have power. All these stories, they're just stories. And I've been giving my power away for too long. Today I choose a different way. A different way of seeing myself. And a different way of seeing my life. I am going to stop believing my disempowering stories. I am going to stop listening to the disempowering stories and start listening to the new story I tell myself. My age is no longer a factor. I'm not too young or too old. Where I live is not a factor. Where I live will not prevent my success. My height and my appearance are not factors. I choose to use my appearance and my past to empower myself and to inspire others. My past story is not where I'm at right now. And although my past brought me to where I am now, and although my past helped me to form the story I have now, my past has no power over me. My past story has no power over me. Whatever blocked and stopped now propels me forward. People like me can. People like me do. People like me become. People like me achieve. And anything that I thought in the past held me back now springs me forward. Today I choose to rewrite my story to an empowering story, to an inspiring story, to a story that supports my growth, to a story that supports my health, to a story that supports my happiness, to a story that supports my well-being, to a story that allows me to achieve, to a story that allows me to be everything that I came here to be. I take back my power. I rewrite my story. I choose to see myself in a good light, in mind, body, and spirit. Peace. So I hope that has helped you in some way, and I hope now that you're in a place where you can think about where your old story has been pulling you in and restricting you and keeping you stuck, and maybe have a play around and a think about maybe writing a new story that is going to help you to become the best version of yourself. So I'm going to leave that with you today. I am sending you so much love, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Goodbye for now.